to point out one basic ingredient that bothers me, which is the element of fraud, which maybe one or two members had earlier pointed out. Maybe I should expand a little bit on it. State governments have, in the past, used the opportunity or the pretext of working for the federal government, of constructing roads in their states that they term federal roads, to defraud the federal government. If you look at the huge bill, 400 billion naira, that state government say is being owed them by federal government, you will imagine that if you go around the country, you will find roads that are in usable condition that will explain or justify the huge amount of 400 million. But that's not the case. A few years ago, when Otumba Gbenga Daniel was governor of Ogun State, he repaired the stretch of road that covers from Shagamu to the point where Ondo meets Ogun State. It's a federal road. And then he sent the bill to the federal government. That road, even at the point where it was renovated, was completely substandard. And as a result, has collapsed even as we speak. But I am sure if you go into the records, you will find that there's a request, there might be a request of hundreds of billions, tens of billions of naira as reimbursements for that project. It brings to question the need for such, because if you go and do a project in that nature, the federal government has no role to play in determining the quality of work that you do. The federal government has no role to play in determining how much money you spend. How then do you expect the federal government to, at the end of the day, just close its eyes, or this National Assembly to just close its eyes to those facts and appropriate money for reimbursing you? Those things raise questions and necessitate this bill. Agreeing to some extent with Honorable Shagari that the idea of paying for work already done is even something that is worrisome, because how do you as a parliament go and begin to oversight what has already been done? Our job here is to appropriate for what should be done. But where a state government, by the whims and the caprices of the governor, sitting most of the time by himself, chooses to carry out a project in that manner and send huge, humongous bills to the federal government, I think it will cause problems and difficulties for this parliament to go ahead and approve such amount. Having said that, I think at the point of public hearing, it will be important for more safety nets to be introduced to ensure that these state governments cannot continue to use this idea of working for the federal government to continue to dupe the federal government of its money. Beyond that, I also have a smaller observation. Is it impossible, Mr. Speaker, that local governments cannot also do these kinds of projects that cover their areas? It is only because of the fact that we have reduced the local government to nothing. We have destroyed the local government system. It's a tier of government. The tiers of government include the state, the federal, and the local governments. If a road passes through a local government, can the local government also not make a claim that they have repaired a stretch and then come to make such claims for reimbursements? So the movers of this motion, I encourage you to look at the possibility of including local governments in this thing so that you can say that we refer to the act as an act to regulate the execution of federal government projects by states and local governments. That's my suggestion. And on that note, I support the motion, but I ask that safety nets be introduced at committee level to make it more difficult for the fraud that state governments have been committing in the past to dupe the federal government to continue, and to, number two, to ensure that we are not sent with backlogs of payments to pay for work that's already done. We will find ways and make sure that we will only pay for things that will be done in the future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.